iPhone 17 is finally here. And over here I have the black version. And what's absolutely awesome, this year on the iPhone 17 we get 256 GB in the base storage. Inside the box we get our phone. And I would say the back of this black version actually looks more like very dark gray instead of the black. We also get our charger cable and also our SIM ejector pin as well. And also a bunch of manuals here. When it comes to the design, I think this phone looks absolutely amazing. Especially in this black version. But again, it's more like dark gray instead of fully black. So we get pretty much similar camera layout as on the past iPhone 16. So we get very nice buttons here. Our SIM card tray here, your action button, volume up and down. On this side we also get our power button and the camera control button. On the top we do not have anything, and on the bottom we get our Type-C port, one speaker over here, microphone port over here, and we get another speaker on the top of the phone here. And when it comes to the display, this phone is really next level. Actually this year we get 120Hz ProMotion display, so really the same display as on the Pro model, but for much cheaper price. Also it's actually increased in the size up to 6.3-inch displays. So if you compare this phone versus maybe iPhone 16, 15, 14, 13, then those phones basically received only 6.1-inch displays, which kind of very small. But if you basically check the size of these phones, essentially, as you see, they're pretty much identical, really. So, but what has changed also is the bezel size. So you see how absolutely massive the bezels are on these older phones versus on this one. So you see, really, there aren't pretty much any bezels. So again, this phone is still actually incredibly slim, even though, yeah, basically they have actually included such massive display actually on this phone. So yeah, the display is absolutely awesome in my opinion on this phone. Also again, we get 3000 nit brightness as well. So compared to the older phones, also huge improvement. Also we have even anti-reflective display here as well. So basically when you actually use this phone in basically sunny weather, it will also cut out your reflections here and will be much better visible. Also we get always on display as well, just like on the Pro model finally as well. And when it comes to battery and charging, this phone also has been massively upgraded over the past iPhone 16. So if you check the official specs, you can expect to get around maybe like 20% extra battery life basically compared to the iPhone 16. So even though the size obviously isn't much different, the battery life what you are actually getting, yeah, is actually very decently improved on this phone. Also we have very nice charging upgrades as well. So we get basically much faster charging, so we get up to 40 watts of charging speed on this phone. So essentially what that means is if you fully deplete this phone, it can charge from 0 to 50% in only like 20 minutes, which is absolutely insane. But for this to be for this to actually be valid, you also need like a powerful enough charger, obviously, since again we are basically working with around 40 watts of output that this phone demands. So again, if you maybe have some kind of older Apple charger, you'll probably need to get like a new charger for this phone to get those speeds. So yeah, when it comes to battery life and charging, this is insane upgrade. When it comes to negatives, so for example, if you are in States, we actually do not get the SIM card slot. But if you, for example, are in Europe and in the rest of the world, you can actually still use physical SIM cards. So in States, we simply get 2 eSIMs that we can load on this phone. I think that's a bit ridiculous. When it comes to the cameras, this phone has also received absolutely massive upgrade. So not only we get brand new 48 megapixel ultra wide camera on this phone, so the main camera is probably staying the same sensor, but when I actually compare the image and video quality of this new iPhone 17 versus 16, I'm actually seeing tiny bit of improvement also in the processing. So even though the main camera sensor is the same as on the 16, it's actually a bit better. But probably the biggest upgrade actually is in the selfie camera basically on this phone. So we get a brand new square like selfie camera sensor on this phone. And the selfie camera definitely on this phone is completely revolutionary, unlike on any other phone basically. So basically if we engage selfie mode, so you see basically like normal selfie mode. So when it comes to sensors on most phones, basically these sensors are optimized basically to work like this. So they're kind of basically like, yeah, in that format. But on this phone, essentially, our sensor actually is completely square, essentially, and also it's much larger than on other phones as well. So what that allows to do is basically when you're filming like this, so we can simply click this button over here, and as you see, you can actually switch to film basically in this format over here to cover, yeah, basically large area. So if you're making maybe making videos for YouTube, so again, this format obviously isn't very good for YouTube, but if you actually want to film like this, it's not very ergonomic, so you can simply swap around. As you see, you can film basically in this orientation. So yeah, absolutely awesome, and this really is actually one of my favorite features actually about the cameras on this phone. Also, when it comes to the app, also we are obviously receiving completely new redesign with this new iOS essentially. So you see, okay, so what happened? So you see basically in the camera app, we can easily change the modes here like this. Also, if you want to change the settings here, so we can click here, and you see you have a bunch of features. Also, we have a new dual capture feature as well. So another brand new feature. So if we enable it, essentially we can film at the same time with the main sensor and also our selfie camera. Also, you see you can move it around. So let's start recording video. As you see, I can pretty much move it wherever I want it. When it comes to negatives, however, the final video actually, yeah, basically is only one video. Unlike maybe on a Samsung phone, you can actually set to export this as two separate videos at the same time. This is actually kind of baked in, and yeah, there is no way how to remove it if you need basically at a later time. And now I'm recording this video on this new iPhone 17, so you can see for yourself how it performs. Previously I was recording on my Google Pixel phone, and that's what I use for maybe like 98% of my videos on my channel, basically to record videos with. However, when it comes to color accuracy, I find this iPhone 17 to pretty much destroy any other phone in the market. Most phones, if you basically show them this kind of orange color, they go completely crazy, but what I'm seeing in the screen, it's absolutely perfect. By the way, currently I'm actually shooting under like studio light. I will show you like sample comparison later in like normal light, but see, this is essentially how it performs. Also, when it comes to autofocus out of any phone, this easily has the best autofocus I have seen. So also I have, for example, the Samsung S25 here, also the S23 Ultra, also I have had the Vivo X200 Pro and bunch of other high-end phones. And when it comes to autofocus performance, this phone pretty much destroys every other phone, so there isn't even a question really. Also, when it comes to fine detail capture, I also find absolutely stunning. So also Apple claims we can get like 2 times optical zoom quality on this one. So obviously it's not optical, but like digital zoom, but still, let's try it. So 1 times now, and if we zoom in 2 times, as you see, the quality is pretty much identical. So again, it totally looks like optical quality. So when it comes to maximum zoom, what we can zoom in, so 6 times. So we can zoom in 6 times basically. If you basically check the 1 time and 6 times, as you see, even the 6 times. And now let's compare the video quality of this iPhone 17 versus my Google Pixel 10 Pro, so you can see how they compare. By the way, obviously the 10 Pro is way more expensive phone than the iPhone 17. I do not have the regular Pixel 10, but if you compare the regular Pixel 10 versus iPhone 17, then the iPhone 17 has got way better camera hardware. In my opinion, the regular Pixel 10 is completely useless phone. When it comes to the actual image quality, maybe I'm simply used to the Pixel, but still personally prefer tiny bit better the like overall look of the Pixel phone. However, when it comes to reliability, autofocus, and also audio management, iPhone completely destroys the Pixel, so it's way more reliable basically when you're recording videos. Also, when it comes to the stabilization, also I feel the iPhone is slightly better as well. So you can see for yourself how they compare outdoors. And when it comes to dynamic range, I also think the Pixel has got tiny bit more dynamic range. And if you're wondering if the camera control button is any better than on the past iPhone 16, then I actually have some bad news. It's pretty much identical. It's still in the same absolutely terrible place where it's make hard to use. So again, it's not very reachable, and also when it comes to the functions, for most part they're utterly useless. So they could have also like removed this, and I do not think anyone would actually like minded that. So again, it's really still just as bad as on the past iPhone 16. So in my opinion, completely useless gimmick that's not very well designed. By the way, after a few days I will release a way more in-depth camera review video of the iPhone 17, but in short, if you're wondering how it compares to the top competitors, so for example the closest would be the Samsung S25, then for pictures, videos, iPhone definitely is way better, so there isn't even competition really. So not only the camera hardware is much superior to the Samsung, also how it looks and how it processes, yeah, much better on the iPhone. The only thing I like on the Samsung better is the camera, so it's way more advanced, and also yeah, I really like some of the features basically Samsung has. So camera definitely better, but video, yeah, when it comes to actual results, yeah, this completely destroys that. When it comes to pixel, however, it's actually fairly close. I would say for pictures, maybe the pixel is tiny better, but again, maybe it's only your personal preference. When it comes to videos, I also think pixel in some areas also can produce slightly better looking videos, but when it comes to reliability, pixels are very unreliable. Essentially, they have a lot of camera jitter basically, so when you are moving basically the footage is often like very shaky, jittery, and also they have actually a lot of camera audio sync issues. So when you are recording video with a pixel, it often even delays the audio from the video and completely destroys the video. So again, pixel cameras in general aren't very reliable, versus this is dead reliable. Also much better autofocus and exposure. So yeah, as a total package out of all phones, I think this has got the best camera really. And when it comes to overall performance of the phone, generally actually it's very solid and also very fast for most tasks, and yeah, very fluid overall. The only thing is that I'm seeing it's this new iOS system is actually still a bit half-baked. I'm seeing actually sometimes a bit of bugs basically. Also sometimes it even freezes a bit and hangs up. So again, definitely I think the iOS 26 should be more well optimized. So I do not think it's actually totally finished yet, but after a few months probably it will be battery smooth. When it comes to the liquid glass, so either you love it or hate it. Personally, I think when it comes to the visibility, it's obviously not very good. By the way, on this phone, if you basically go in the settings, so also accessibility settings, okay, so accessibility here, display and text size, reduce transparency. As you see, you can also like remove this like liquid glass effect like considerably. So it's definitely like more stable phones, and also when it comes to readability and like usability, it's also like slightly better. Of course, it's not looking as good, but yeah, if you especially have some vision problems, I think the liquid glass isn't like very good actually for you, and you should maybe definitely actually enable this feature. So when it comes to the raw horsepower of this phone, so if we check the numbers, so this is what I'm getting here, so you see it's actually insanely good. And if we compare this phone versus maybe the last year's iPhone 16 Pro Max, so the maxed out version, this has actually got tiny bit better performance. So it's absolutely insane. Apple has actually went all out on this base model and given us absolutely crazy spec. So not only like the best storage possible, also like really decent cameras, top the line display, but also like incredibly good performance. And if you compare basically this benchmark to the iPhone 17 Pro, I think like the CPU was only maybe like 5% worse on this one. Maybe the GPU is better on the Pro version, so it's definitely better. But when it comes to everyday usability, I think it will be pretty much identical, and you won't be able to actually tell a difference. So if we compare these benchmarks versus the S25, which is actually the most powerful phone in the world, so you see in the single score this is actually even better, but in multi-score, so the total horsepower, this is tiny bit better. But again, so maybe there's like 8% difference, something like that. But as a total, it's like very close draw. And also maybe, yeah, let's simply test them side by side and see which actually opens apps faster and performs better. Also this year this iPhone gets this anti-reflective display as well. So can you actually tell the difference between these two? Maybe actually, yeah, indeed. Yeah, the visibility actually is still actually tiny bit better when basically sun is shining, or again some kind of lights on it. So you see I have closed all my background apps on both phones, and simply let's open some random stuff and see how they perform. So first, music, definitely actually tiny bit faster on the S25. I'm going to let these apps in the background so they fill up the memory as well. Okay, yep, I think also faster, but maybe we need to repeat this because there was a pop-up essentially. Okay, actually this one faster then. Yeah, interesting. Play Store versus Apple Store, obviously completely different apps, but let's see. Definitely, yeah, no question about that. But generally this Apple Store is way more bloated actually, so probably that's why. Couldn't really tell difference, maybe this one, but yeah, way too close. Let's try again, when they're in the background. Yeah, you really need to look in basically like slow motion maybe. So on this one maybe tiny bit better. But again, so incredibly close. GeekBench. Okay. This by a huge margin, but maybe the app actually is different here, so maybe it's not a valid test actually for this app. Clock. Pretty much the same really. And this game. So you see tiny bit faster, but yeah, that's not really a huge difference. And yeah, overall when it comes to performance and horsepower, this iPhone 17 is absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's really just as good as Pro phone. So if you are wondering if you should get the Pro phone or this one for the performance alone, so you aren't really missing anything on this phone. So it's absolutely amazing. Also, what I absolutely love about this phone is the incredibly good speakers as well. So out of any phone I currently have and I have used it, this by far actually has the best speakers I have had on any phone. So I do not have the like the iPhone 17 Pro, I can't compare directly, but again, so out of any like high-end phone I have used, these speakers are absolutely phenomenal basically. So really, so yeah, I really have no idea how they can actually put in such like speakers in this phone. Not only the loudness is very good, also basically how they produce the sound, clarity. I mean, it's absolute joy to actually listen something on these speakers. And overall, is a new iPhone 17 actually worth it, and should you maybe get this phone? Well, I can actually highly suggest this phone because, yeah, let's be real, if you look at the price of this phone, it completely destroys the competition. So when you look at the absolutely amazing display we get, also the crazy performance, also insanely good like cameras and top of the line build quality, this really pretty much destroys everything else. So again, you're getting really the most premium phone you can get with the best display without really having to spend like huge money for the Pro. So again, we literally have exactly the same display as on the Pro phone. So again, for most people really this is like way better phone than the Pro, since again it pretty much delivers like 99% of the same performance to you, but for yeah much cheaper. So yeah, if you are wondering if you should get one, I think this is absolutely phenomenal phone, and basically out of any recent phones Apple has released, I think this really is by far the best. So I think maybe the lastest like decent actually like upgraded phone where they actually like included like significant upgrades maybe was the iPhone 13, but the iPhone 14, 15, 16, let's be real, they were pretty much the same phones, and it was pretty much useless to upgrade to them if you had maybe like an older phone. But this one, so they have actually like went all in basically on this phone. So, and really no wonder why this phone is getting so insanely popular. So, and they're even like ramping up the production, as basically the demand for this phone is far greater than even they expected on this. So yeah, if you are wondering if you should get one, well really, yeah, really no question about that. Absolutely awesome phone. Good luck.